Well, wow, what a humbling and energizing thing to follow the legendary Glenn Fogel in the Priceline story, and to be in such a magnificent venue, and to be surrounded by important people in the digital industry in Berlin. If there is a segue from Glenn's introduction, it's really that Priceline was transformed by the Booking acquisition, and Cheap Flights has been transformed by the Momondo acquisition. Anyway, about us, Momondo Group. Momondo Group is a travel search business. We're a metasearch business. I'm sure you're familiar with metasearch. We like to describe what we do as powering pioneering brands that shape and inspire global travel search. And what I want to cover today briefly is why do we exist? How are we doing? How are we succeeding? And then why are we succeeding? So why another travel metasearch? Travel metasearch is a sweet spot in the online travel industry. It's very rapidly growing. I strongly believe it's because its transparency and overview allows it to build trust, which is sorely lacking in most of the travel industry. But when you look at the industry, yes, it's extremely competitive. We're playing against, even as a global player, we are playing against very big competitors. But when you look at those competitors, we don't find their products inspiring. We don't find their brands energizing. We don't find their products that good. In fact, often they're compromised by advertising or being bland. So Momondo Group believes that we can create a better metasearch. More than anything, we believe in creating products users love. But I'm going to cut to the chase, numbers. These are our traffic numbers. We're growing very rapidly, and we have accelerating growth. In Q1 this year, our traffic was up 46% year over year. But more exciting than that for me is that out of those 95 million visits that came to our website, 51% were repeat users, and 40% were direct users. This is the lifeblood of our business, and it's healthy. It's taken a long time to get here. Revenue, let's talk revenue numbers. Our revenue is accelerating. These numbers mask a transition of the Cheap Flights business from a legacy advertising model into metasearch, so it hides a cannibalization of our own revenues. But this year, we are projecting over 80 million sterling of revenues with 30% revenue growth, which I think is healthy. We're not the biggest player, but we want to be the best. So, how are we succeeding? Our solitary goal in the company is to create products that users love. This is the mantra within the company. So how are we doing? I could tell you that we have great products, but it's better to refer to external parties. Arthur Frommer says that Momondo is hands down the best travel metasearch in the market. Travolution has announced that Momondo is the best travel metasearch in the market for 2 years running. But I love German's testing, so I'm particularly proud of the Stiftung Warren test and the computer build tests. Very analytical, so I'll take their word for it. No, but we do believe we're creating differentiated and genuinely best-in-class products in travel metasearch. We have some other advantages. We have a dual brand strategy, two differentiated but complementary brands in Cheap Flights and Momondo, unified by one very strong sense of purpose, one very strong culture of execution, one very strong culture of building fantastic teams. I can't talk about all these things right now, but I would mention one that I think is really pertinent, which is that our sense of purpose is very strong, and we think that is lacking in a lot of travel search businesses. Our purpose is to open our world. We believe that travel opens the world, and we believe that an open world is a better world. I'm now going to talk a bit about both the brands. So, Momondo. It's unusual, it's quite rebellious, it's set against a black background, it's Danish, it's colorful, it's energetic. Momondo is aspiring to not only be a better travel search engine, but a more inspiring travel search engine. It actually comes from a guidebook heritage in Denmark, where it was the leading travel guidebook publisher. Today, one of the most exciting things Momondo is doing is something called the DNA journey, which challenges you to be curious about the world, be curious about where you've come from, and to learn about different places in the world. And that has gone viral on Facebook with over 27 million views. I think the Momondo team are doing an excellent job at being more inspiring than other travel meta searches. Momondo is also an edgy brand and increasingly into hotels. But what I'd like to do now, as we're in Germany, I'd like to show you a few of our German TV adverts. Television is a very important part of projecting the Momondo brand. We're now TV advertising in 10 markets. We are a leader in the Nordics, but are now punching into continental Europe, including Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. Here are some adverts, hopefully, which will seamlessly now be played for you.
Ich will Gänsehaut wie nie zuvor. Deshalb suche ich auch meine Reise wie nie zuvor. Bei Momondo sehe ich den günstigsten Flugtag auf den ersten Blick. Momondo, die Flug- und Hotelsuchmaschine für Reisende wie mich.
Ich will die Natur entdecken wie nie zuvor. Deshalb suche ich auch meine Reise wie nie zuvor. Ich sag, was ich will, und Momondo macht mir Reisevorschläge. Momondo, die Flug- und Hotelsuchmaschine für Reisende wie mich.
Ich will schreien wie nie zuvor. Deshalb suche ich auch meine Reise wie nie zuvor. Momondo zeigt mir den günstigsten, schnellsten oder besten Flug. Momondo, die Flug- und Hotelsuchmaschine für Reisende wie mich.
So we think these are quite good adverts. We think it's incredibly hard to get into 18 seconds, a sense of purpose, a bit about your product, and be memorable and differentiated. We were absolutely delighted when, without any input from ourselves, Media Analyzer, another German analysis company, said that the Momondo travel TV adverts were the best in the market, beating out 15 other companies, including the very biggest brands in the industry. So we were hugely excited by that, and we believe we're able to get cut through because of what we stand for and how we project our brand. Our other brand, Cheap Flights, is also fantastic, but in different ways. Cheap Flights' goal is to make smart search simple. Cheap Flights is a fantastic name. It's powered by the best technology, which we've already talked about, and is also addressing a global English-speaking audience. So I'll touch upon a few things. It also comes from a deals publishing legacy. It has a newsletter. We have a newsletter business with over 11 million newsletters where we personalize deals for users. That's extremely successful and profitable, growing at over 30% year over year. An interesting factoid for Cheap Flights, our app is used by somebody in every country around the world, including North Korea, every day, which we find hugely energizing and exciting statistic. Mobile is obviously an incredibly important part of what we do. We believe that this has the greatest opportunity for innovation, the greatest opportunity for global growth. It's something we're very focused on. In Q1, we reached a total of 10 million app downloads, which created revenue of over 158% growth year over year, which we're very excited and focused about. When the latest Momondo app was launched into the Apple Store, Apple recommended it as an app that they loved in over 22 markets. We're very proud and excited by that. That's exactly what we're trying to achieve. Mobile is an important part of our business, and we're very excited about the opportunity to do even better there. So in conclusion, what I would say is come back to the original question which I posed. Why does Momondo Group exist? Momondo Group exists to open our world. Momondo believes that metasearch is an incredibly exciting opportunity within the $400 billion online travel annual marketing sector. But we believe that metasearch can be better. Do try Momondo. If you're interested in what I've talked about, please do come up and chat with me afterwards. Thank you very much.
Super.